Well, the ability to sample turns this keyboard synthesizer into a studio. You can incorporate any sound you hear into your playing or sequences. Think about it. Any sound you hear, that could be scratches from, say, a friend's turntable, vocal riffs from an old recording, wave files off the internet, loops off of loop CDs, anything you want. And you can play them from either the keyboard or also from the pads on the front panel. We can sample from the external inputs on the rear panel and also bring in samples via USB. We can even resample from within the unit for unlimited creativity. In fact, the Fantom-G is so good at sampling. It's sampling right now. This blue light indicates that the Fantom-G can skip back in time and capture anything that happens up to 40 seconds before you press it. Check it out, I'll just play something. Now I'll press skip back sampling. And you'll see that everything I just played is recorded right into the sampler. And if you went down to the start point here, I could zoom right in and preview this so I could get right at the beginning. So, I mean, how the heck does it do that? Well, the Fantom-G is always sampling. Actually, let me rephrase it. It's always sampling if this light is on. If I exit out of the screen, then this light will come back on, and then it'll be set up to skip back sampling again. So why is skip back sampling useful? I find it useful in capturing ideas so that when you're playing a riff and you're working on some ideas and you stumble across something, you're always able to go back in time and just capture that. It's also a quick and dirty way to resample a number of elements. Basically anything that the Fantom-G is playing, whether it be the pads, the rhythm pattern, arpeggios, anything can be resampled easily with a push of the skip back sampling. Now you can resample within the sample mode of the Fantom-G, but I just find this is a quick way of doing it without going through too many screens. Anyway, let's explore the sampling section of the Fantom-G by pressing sampling. The main sampling screen shows you the sampling capacity of the Fantom-G, and in a stock one, we have 32 megabytes total. You can add up to a gig of additional DIMM memory. But how come even though I have 32 megabytes memory, I only have 26 free? You might have heard the factory demo, and there's some vocals in there and also some other samples that need to be present to make those factory demos work. Well, they live in flash RAM, and when you do a factory reset, then they're brought up automatically. There's about 6 megs of them, and that's what you're looking at right now. In fact, let's look at a list of our samples. Under the List/Edit section of buttons, press the Sample button a couple of times, and here's all of the samples that are used in the factory demos. Now, if you don't want all of these guys taking up space, you can safely delete them all, because if you really need them back, you can always get them back underneath Menu and Factory Reset. That will bring all those samples back. Let me get out of this. So I just want to get rid of all these guys so I can have all of my 32 meg of standard memory available. I will mark all of the samples using F5, and then underneath F3 utility, we will delete the samples, and are you sure? Bada bing, bada boom. They're all gone, and sure enough, when I press sampling, check it out, all 32 megabytes are free. Okay, so let's do some sampling. Press F1.